shredded that, didn't I? Yeah, the number was on that paper. It's fine, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
It's on the card. I know there was probably an easier number to call.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't think about it.
Not my problem. Hey, that's not my problem. Get this over and done with. Now I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. Delight got arrested again. Well, supposedly Mr. Delight was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred. No way, Jose, I don't buy it. But the one who proved that Mr. Delight was there was Mr. Nick himself, at least from what I can understand. Looks like you did too good of a job this time, Nick. Well, how about we get started looking into the KB security murder? They might head back to Karain Village for a little while, if that's alright. Sure, but why? I'm gonna bring the sacred urn back and have some people take a look at it. Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go with. No, Mystic Maya, you should stay here. I want you two to spend some quality time, special quality time together, full of love and happiness. Pearls is so caught up in her fantasy she forgot there's a murder to solve. Sacred urn gave him to Pearls. Now remember, no fighting, okay? Gone. Okay, Nick, time to go get going on this murder investigation. Oh, Nicky boy. Maya. Miss Delight. All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie. Yeah, but I guess it ended up hurting his case. Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up. Hey, Nicky boy, please help Ronnie. He's not a killer, I swear. Where'd she go?
She's by my feet.
Oh, because you're eating food?
Yeah.
He's not a killer, I swear. My Ronnie wouldn't hurt a fly. Alright, I'll poke around and see what I can find out. Really? Are you serious? Oh, I'm so happy. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I can do to help anymore. Had no idea Miss Delight had such a vulnerable side. This thing looks vaguely familiar. Oh, I know, it's a fishbowl. Well, an upside-down one, anyway. I think it's a helmet, an alien helmet. And that looks like a tape recorder or something next to it. I think it's a transceiver, an alien transceiver. Oh, that? Ronnie brought that home one day. He asked one of his friends from work if he could have it. The Space Ranger uniform. He'd never seen Ronnie happier in his whole life. Oh man, now I want one too. Wonder if KB Security at the event was in charge of security at the event from that old case. With the old bag. Listen carefully, Nicky boy. Mariani would never ever kill anyone. It's just not in him.
Bag.
I don't think he would either, Nick. Yeah, but you have to admit he's got a bit of a temper to him. It's not that hard to imagine him just snapping a goat and screaming, "Please die!" You'd never say that. Anyway, Miss Delight, he might not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's a thief. I already told you, that's just a fantasy for him. Miss Delight, I hate to say it, but you're the one living in a fantasy world. What? How dare you say that to me, Nicky boy? I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't the thieving type. He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance. A thief? Ha! The very idea. I guess I just don't get it. Huh? Get what? Just can't understand how they could be so different and yet be such a happy couple. Yeah, they sure are different. Come on now, Nicky boy. Not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight, for me anyway. What? For you? I hate these kind of people more than anything. You mean Ace Detectives? No, I'm fine with Ace Detectives. Oh, so then you must mean thieves. No, they're alright too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be Ace Detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men. By the way, why did you go to Detective Atmey's office anyway? Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I went there to try to find out more about the real criminal. The real criminal? Yes, obviously. The real Masque is not my Ronnie, right? Yeah. And Detective Atmey knew more about Masque than anyone else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV. So then you went there to ask him some questions? That's right. I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. His secretary said the Ace Detective isn't in right now. But I forced my way past her and into his hideout. Wouldn't exactly call that office of his a hideout. The bag was sitting right there on the top of the table. Oh yeah, we saw that bag there yesterday too. There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else. Miss Delight, do you know about KB Security? Don't be silly, of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works. So she thinks he still works there, huh? And yet, according to what we heard today... Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore. Looks like Miss Delight doesn't know. KB Security is only about 20 minutes away, by motorcycle that is. Larry told me it takes 30 minutes by car. Well, I have to admit I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike. To make it to KB Security that fast, are you sure you aren't literally flying? Why don't I give you a ride sometime, or better yet, how about now? No, I'll pass, thanks. Why don't you just tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves. Haha, what a scaredy cat you are, Nick. Miss Delight told us the location to KB Security. Okay, let's head over there right away, Nick. So was it really love at first sight when you first met Mr. Delight? Well, maybe not at first sight, but Ronnie saved my life. Saved your life? I was at work one day when two robbers suddenly rushed in. Well, I'm not the kind to just curl into a little ball in a corner, so I fought back. Robbers? Yes, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They're both carrying these huge knives, and I broke down into tears. Yeah, I would too if I were in that situation. Oh, I think I get it. Did Mr. Delight come running to save you? Yes, exactly. I remember he looked so handsome in that guard uniform of his. He went right up to those two knife-wielding robbers and screamed in their faces. Please stop it! He screamed. I could see the robbers' faces turning pale. A high-pitched shriek of his does have a surprisingly strong effect on people. Then, crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the two robbers. All by himself. He came to save me, a total stranger, all by himself. He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me. Wow, that's a great story. Yes, he may not look it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did. It's so romantic, I'd fall in love too, I guess. Nick, I hope you'll do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage. If my possibility always seems to loom in the not-so-distant future.
Yep.
That's weird. KB Security. So I guess this is where it all went down, huh? Walls in here look thick, just like you'd expect in a CEO's office. What's that got to do with anything? Hey, it's you guys. Oh, it's Detective Gumshoe. Today was a real train wreck for you guys, huh? Sure was, pal. That prosecutor made real fools out of us. Yeah, I feel for you. That's not like you at all. I thought you'd be more like, oh, that was great. You guys got what you deserved, pal. Ho 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 ho. Something to that effect. Do I really sound like that to you, pal? If the gumshoe fits. Well, anyway. Point is, I can tell when someone puts their heart into their jobs. Bed! Bed, Jake! That's not your bed! Whatever. And I can sympathize when things don't go your way. Sometimes I feel like wrong is the only way things go for us detectives. Well, I had no idea Detective Gumshoe was such a nice guy. Now that this little love fest is over, maybe we can start investigating. Check out this big, thick binder here. You do the heavy lifting to me, Nick. Your file isn't exactly back-breaking work, but just a little hard on the eyes. Ah, what did you find out, Nick? This file, it's not about any sort of security operations or anything. Huge file is all about this Masque. It's filled with info on him. What? What kind of info? Filled with incredibly detailed information about his methods and the crime scenes. Hey Nick, look at the last page. It's a list. Let's see. Terror of Emanon, $100,000. Looks like this is a list of all the treasures that Masque stole. Then $100,000 is the value of the stolen item? I don't know, that number sounds kind of low to me. I think I'd better secretly make a copy of this list. There's a button here, let's see. Hey, cut it out, don't press that. That was pretty funny. Never knew Detective Gumshoe could jump like that. What's that button anyway? It's an emergency buzzer. It says it right there on the panel. Oops, you're right. It's written right here. Like, how many times have I told you to read the instructions first? This alarm's connected to the basement guard room. It's used to summon security up here. Really? That's possible on the night of the crime. Ooh, so when the CEO was attacked, do you think that maybe he pressed the buzzer? Yeah, I thought about that, so I asked around down there. But they said that the buzzer never went off that night. Also, we couldn't find any fingerprints on the buzzer. Mr. Bullard, the victim, wasn't wearing any gloves, by the way, just so you know. I think we'd better go and talk to that guard about this emergency buzzer. Detective Gumshoe, tell us what you know about the murder. Okay. The thing is, I'm really not supposed to. Hey, come on. What about how we put our hearts into our work? Things are really working against us right now. We need help. Okay, I'll tell you. Just don't start crying on me, pal, okay? Okay, I won't cry on you, pal. Victim's name is Kane Bullard. He's the CEO of KB Security and a pretty big fellow in his own right. His corpse was discovered at 9 this morning. His estimated time of death was 1 in the morning on October 12th. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, probably an object in this room. Happened at exactly the same time that Masque is stealing urine, huh? Autopsy report. So why did it take almost an entire day to discover the body? There's a good explanation for that one. Bullard's body was stashed away inside that safe. Safe? Well, it is pretty big. Nobody had heard from him, and when they opened the safe this morning, out he came. Oh, so the body fell out. That white string must be the shape from when he fell out. I think we still need some more information about Mr. Bullard. Willow? Bed. Maybe you could start by getting the man's name right. So, what happened to Masque? He's at the detention center screaming like a madman. Investigate me again, he keeps yelling. No, I didn't mean him. He's not the real thief anyway, right? Oh, you mean that detective at me? Ho 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 ho. Oh, that was great. That guy got what he deserved. Now that's a detective I know and love. Think about it. Atme was always around when a calling card showed up, but he always mysteriously disappeared when the heist took place. Hiding at the crime scene. Heh, yeah, right. The lamest thing I've ever heard. It's how you just knew he was a thief. That would explain how he was able to retrieve the stolen item he keeps bragging about. Yeah, he just did that to make himself look like a great detective, that's all. There's this one thing I can't figure out about his first heist. His first heist? Yeah, the Tear of Emanon case. There was a witness on that one. A witness? Here, I saved the newspaper clipping. Since the thief is already under arrest, you guys can keep it. Hey, this guard here. Haven't I seen him from somewhere before? Pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see, but now that she mentions it... Looks like... Ronnie. Oh, that prosecutor. I really don't like that guy. The way he used our own evidence to do that to Mr. Delight. Yeah, I think he did it that way just because he knew it'd hurt more. That's what my gut tells me anyway. So who is that Java-addicted masked maniac anyway? Prosecutor Godot? He's quite the enigma, huh? The thing is, pal, I never even heard of the guy before. He just showed up one day at the prosecutor's office. Came out of nowhere. That's right, he said this was his first case as a prosecutor. And it's true according to the records anyway, but... No way he's an amateur. He's a nice man in court, a maverick that gives me goosebumps. Goosebumps? You? Yeah, I knew something was off about him, so I asked around. Nobody would talk to me. They all just turned the other way. Poor Detective Gumshoe. I had no idea you were so unpopular. No, that's not what I meant. The Godot guy acts like he knows me and has a grudge against me. Get the feeling he's hiding some kind of dark secret. Detective Gumshoe, tell us more about this Mr. Shane Bluebard. It's Kane Bullard, and not Shane Bluebard, pal. Oh yeah, the victim in this case doesn't make much of an impression on me. Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullard was found dead. Yeah, and his body wasn't discovered until this morning. Anyway, we don't have enough information yet. Can you help us out? Sorry, I'm actually a little confused myself. For some reason, I'm just blabbing like an idiot right now. Okay, Nick, now is our chance to get more info about the victim, so hurry up and ask. Tell us some more about Mr. Bullard? He's the CEO of KB Security, right? What kind of company is it anyway? Well, a company basically sends security teams out to buildings to guard them. Mr. Bullard must have had the chance to learn a lot of secrets during doing this kind of work. Oh, and I don't know how to put this, but the guy was kind of a money grubber. Really? Me too. I just love money. I can never get enough. Please stop leaning in towards me like that. You aren't getting to my wallet. Anyway, it looks like he did some pretty shifty stuff to earn his millions. Oh, so that's my problem. I need to be shiftier.
Oh, geez.
Let me go already. Apparently he was involved in selling trade secrets between rival companies. Ooh, that's pretty dirty and underhanded. Yeah. Oh, KB Security used to head security operations against Masque. What? Really? Yeah, and after screwing up so many times, the company's reputation really took a nosedive. So it really was Bullard who sent Ron the blackmail letter, huh? KB Security guard office. Wow. This is really something else. Hey, Ellie's!
Hi, Ellie's!
You're fine. There it is.
Look at me! I'm on a motherfucking dinosaur!
Ah, this is really something else. For security guard office, it sure doesn't feel very secure. KB security guard. Uh-oh, I just remembered Larry might be...
Yes, whoa, dinosaur!
Hey, Nick, what's up? God damn it, Butts. Oh, so he is here.
Oh, Butts.
Yo, how's it hanging, dude? You got my sweet little boy with you, too. Hi, Larry. There I was working my fingers to the bone, and then walks an angel. I got no problems with a daytime date. It's all good. No, that's not what we're here for. We're investigating the Bullard murder case.
Bad Larry.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Larry.
You're a lawyer, aren't you? You're so hopelessly clueless. Well, if it's about the murder case, good boy. Good. Boy, have I got some good info for you. Really? What is it? Well, I don't mind sharing with my sweet little Maya, but Nick here is a different story.
Ugh.
Larry, I thought you two were old school buddies. That was then and this is now.
Larry.
It's my partner seat. Your partner? Well, that's why I call her. She's my superior, actually. Kind of a sweet, weird old lady. God damn it. There's tea spilled all over that machine, you know. Oh, don't worry about it. Just the other day I spilled some chocolate milk on mine. Still works fine, more or less. They really know how to build them, I guess.
Oh, Larry.
Something's written on this poster in fine print. The guard's 5 commandments. Wow, this sounds serious. Let's see what it says. Number 1, obey thy superior. Number 2, respect thy superior. 3, smile at thy superior. 4, salute thy superior. 5, buy donuts for thy superior upon command. Signed, Wendy Oldbag,
I like.
head supervisor. God damn.
Ugh.
She's one tough old bird, let me tell you. Cross her and you come face to face with a real genuine ray gun. Yeah, sounds scary, alright. Well, fortunately she's on vacation. That's why I'm so relaxed right now.
Oh, thank God.
Hey Larry, that's your jacket, isn't it? That's right. Did you know you hung it right on top of some kind of lever? Yeah, sure. I was told to never ever touch that lever. She scowled and huffed at me. Something terrible will happen if you do. Got it, Greenhorn? So why hang your jacket on such an important lever? Because it got me curious. If the jacket's weight pulls the lever down, that's what they call an accident.
Oh, Lord.
Doesn't the suspense just kill you? Don't you want to know what'll happen, huh? It's true, it's killing me too. What about you, Nick? Yeah, but for a different reason. Oh, look at these things here. Hey, Larry. Hey, Larry, what are they? Did you just say, Hey, man, it's not like I have to know what they are to do my job. I always thought they were just some kind of decoration or something. Oh, boy. How'd this guy ever get a job here anyway? Those screens there show what's going on all over the building, everywhere. It's my job to keep a steady eye on them, all of them. Wouldn't sound so smug if I were you. You watch regular TV on these two? If anyone would sit here and watch TV instead of working, it's Larry. Hey, Maya, I'm a pro, okay? Besides, you can't get regular TV on it. And how do you know that, Larry? Because that was my first bit of investigation, if you know what I mean. I know what you're thinking. It was a professional investigation, alright?
Oh, Larry.
Hey, Susan!
Hi, Susan!
That's my workstation. Pretty cool, huh? I keep a steady eye on the monitors and use that mic for communicating. Look at all this equipment. It must be hard to operate. No biggie, I think there's an instruction manual somewhere in this room. Somewhere? Instruction manual? What are you going to do in an emergency? I guess I'd start by calmly looking for the instruction manual. During that time, my partner, the old lady, would calmly look for her reading glasses. That's what us security professionals call teamwork. Even Maya and Pearls could run this place better. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? There we go. Got the smells like old bag achievement.
Like...
What's this good info you were talking about, Larry? Hey, I'm a guard, a pro. I can't just give away information for free. He wants a bribe? I thought professionals were more, I don't know, honest? Can you talk to him, Maya? Larry, tell us already. What's the good info? Hey, I like that. This kitten has some claws. Okay, you really want to know? Yes, so tell me. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Sort of, yeah.
Actually, here. Where is that? Photos? Probably photos. Shortly after we set up the house. Look at all these memories.
It's all Jake. Lots of pictures of Jake.
Yep.
Hope you both are having a good day so far.
There we go.
Where'd you post it?
In our thing.
Oh. He just sent you a picture of
It's an older picture, but yeah, it's...
setup, but it's sort of basically the same.
Yeah. The desk is, at least, for the most part. Okay. Okay, so the thing is, Ron DeLight was an employee here. And naturally, since I'm a pro, I looked into his background. Follow me? Yes, you're a pro. I follow you. Go on. Well, 1 year ago, Ron DeLight was fired. And there was no warning at all. It just happened all of a sudden. I know this is a small company, but I think that was pretty awful. Guess he must have done something bad to have gotten fired like that. Like maybe skipping out of work to go pick up hot chicks? Oh, jeez.
Oh, gosh.
That's not fun.
Oh, no.
No, that's just you. What was it like to be a part-time security guard? Let me tell you, it's tough. Well, you know me. I get by alright, I guess. First, I have to keep my eye on all those monitors all the time. Monitors? There are security cameras set in each building each room around the building. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out. Oh, and if I see something suspicious, I have to contact one of the teams. What teams? Security teams for this company. They're supposedly the best in the business. But I'm no amateur either, so if it's something small, I don't bother calling them. So in other words, you basically watch TV screens all day long. Yeah. I constantly fall asleep and wake up all night long. Either she's making a noise or I just wake up randomly with a panic attack or something. You're in this office when the murder took
I
place,
actually
weren't you?
have to go potty. That's why I wake up.
Why do you say that? This is just a part-time job for me, and I can't operate the equipment, and I'm dumb. Even if it is part-time and you are dumb, you're still in charge of security here. Hey, give me a break. Don't try to pin the whole thing on me. That's not fair, Nick. Huh? I don't think you can expect someone like him to take any responsibility. Anyway, the point is you were here that night, right? Uh-oh.
Oop.
Oh no, I knew something smelled bad and it was the butts after all. Well, it's like I always say, that was then and this is now, okay? Looks like I'm gonna have to break his psych locks after all. This one should be easy. The crime. On the night of the crime, you were working hard like you were supposed to. Were you working hard like you were supposed to? What? Huh? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? But didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go see Miss Delight? Ah, look, that was, and this is this. Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night too? Never. I didn't sneak out. I'll tell you what. I'll even bet you $1. $1. Wow, now that's confidence. Put that drench in the rain puppy look on your face. Do you have evidence that I left my position, or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not maintaining his station when the murder happened. That wasn't camera data, it was this one. The key card to the CEO's office, right? Yeah, that's right. This key card was found inside a wallet. This wallet. You know about this, right? I've never seen it before. Liar! You hand-delivered this wallet to Miss Delight yesterday. Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet? I guess it was around 1 o'clock in the morning on the first floor of our company building. 1 o'clock in the morning? That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard's office. Yeah! Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about. What's that? My shift that day didn't start until 10 p.m. Murderer might have snuck in before then. What do you mean by that? Murderer had snuck in before 10 p.m. Then it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Why do I have the feeling that he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond a shadow of doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 p.m. during your shift. Larry, when you use this keycard, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does, but I can't show the record to just anyone, you know. The keycard data was already made public in the trial today. What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me. Why does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard? Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office was open with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m. at the time of the murder. No way! Yeah, so someone used this to get into the CEO's office. That happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Ooh. Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time. Yar, no! Dude, the CEO's dead. You're not losing your job right now. Ooh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault. Larry, there's nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man. What happened that night anyway? My Donna happened. Huh? Your Donna? Got a bad feeling about this.
Him and these women.
My Donna called and said, I'll have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her, and he was standing right there next to her. Who was? Her new boyfriend. It was like some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy socked me right in the kisser. Normally I'm the one that does the punching. Isn't that right, Maya? Yeah. So is that why you left the security guard office? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Can I ever make it up for it, Nick? What can I do? What? Wahaha. He's curled up on the floor crying like a baby. Oh boy. Nick! Is there anything I can do? Anything. Just name it. I'll do whatever I have to make up for it. I swear I will. Larry? Hey, Nick. As long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got? He's right. Maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him. Nick! The buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right? That's right. Just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya. Huh? Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. I promise I'll come running to your rescue like the professional guard I am. Wow, that was pretty good. Thanks, I try. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now? Yes, please. Please tell us. Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed. I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier. Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh? You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office? Well, this is the 3rd floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the 1st floor. Thought it would be a good idea to, adopt a wait-and-see approach. Plus, there's a police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary. It's as if he was trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet. Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night? There must be a record, right? You must have had a look at it, right? Of course I did. I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either. Do you think you could take just one more look for me? Pretty please? Oh, okay. I just can't say no to you, Maya. What do you think, Nick? Probably right. Ah! What is it? What's wrong? I made a mistake. Huh? But how? It can't be. It's impossible. Okay, enough already. What about the records? That night, it went off just once in the morning at around 1 a.m. 1 a.m.? That's when the murder happened. Really? Yep. Are you serious? That's terrible. It can't be. Great job, Larry.
Oh, Larry. The dang it, Neil told me. Dang it, Larry.
Yeah. Ridley Taylor. The Treasures of Kurain exhibit is all ruined now. I'm sorry. It's just so sad. This is our big chance for everyone to learn about spirit channeling. Maybe I can cheer her up somehow. Well, now that we've got the Sacred Urn back, maybe they can reopen it. Really? Sure. Maybe they can label it the Urn of Masque's Desires. That would probably attract a lot of attention. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's brilliant, Nick. We can clean it up and be filthy rich. Woohoo! Wow, that was surprisingly easy. Taylor Babes Warehouse. Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright. Miss Andrews. What's she still hanging around down here for?
Why'd you look so scared?
So how's it going? What about the Sacred Urn? The urn? Oh, that. It's already been taken care of. It's been taken care of already. What do you mean, oh, that? Taken care of? Do you mean it's been found? Yes. It was brought in during the trial today. Wow, really? You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was Masque's wife that found it. Well, anyway, I'm so relieved. There we go. Okay. Just heard all about it on the news. So that detective was actually a thief all along. Looks that way right now. It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring Masque to guard the treasures. Don't blame yourself. You were just doing your job. Hey, Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So, when was it that you hired Detective Atme again? About 20 days ago. When was it Masque's calling card arrived? That was about 10 days ago. So he sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard. Guess that's it then. Detective Atme must have really wanted the secret urn after all. Guess so. What? So Masque murdered someone as well? Well, that's how things look right now. Yes, but I thought he was here stealing the urn at the time. Well, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything is possible. Let's get down to business already. On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Atme? No, I couldn't have. After all, he was hidden the entire time. I never even caught a glimpse of him. He claims that's the way he always operates. That's just what he says so he can have an alibi when he commits the thefts himself. Yeah, he was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Masque pretty well. So glad you got your sacred urn back. Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it. What is it? I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different. Really? You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Miss Andrews? No, I don't know anything. Why would I? Oh boy, what's she involved in now? I think this means, Nick. It means the person that holds the secret to the mystery of the sacred urn is Nancy Drew herself. Is our very own Miss Andrews. Oops. Back to... So what do we do now? Isn't it obvious? We should get out there and investigate the murder. Well, first we need to find out exactly where KV Security is located. Hey, why don't we ask Miss Delight? She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles. Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you? Not the same little Maya used to be happy with her.
Yes, she has.
Dinky little bike, Nicky boy. Yes, she has. Speaking of asking around, I got a few questions of my own from Mr. Delight. Okay, well, let's make sure to go to the detention center, too. Let's be relieved we got the sacred urn back, huh? You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Don't at me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says I am on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Amy, like it always used to.
Oh, they fixed it?
Looks like it. But there's also the paint all over it, too. Oh, yeah, you're right. Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they weren't there before. I doesn't know, but 1 year ago when the urn was broken, repairer accidentally turned Mystic Amy's name into I Am. That repairer was one mechanically unskilled little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it. Is it possible that urn is a fake? I'm sure Pearls will find out once she gets back to the Karain village. Yeah, I suppose. Now you think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Karain village in a long time. I guess people still go to Karain village to do their training, right? Yep, if you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training. Why haven't you been training lately, Maya? Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that. A channeling dojo, huh? Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is. If you're going to train, you have to be serious, otherwise real tragedies can happen. Oh.
We're back.
Said, you'll see the message here in a second.
What?
Susan. Wifey, great to see you so bushy-tailed and bright-eyed. Been ages seeing you in a stream like that. Usually you're tired and run down.
Yeah.
No work today does that to you, too.
Yeah, that too.
I'm gonna go upstairs with
Work
you.
has been nuts.
We'll be right back in a minute.
Work has been crazy, so that's probably why I've been so tired. Okay.
Be right back. She says okay.
4:30.
But we eat at 4.
No, you don't.
Especially when Dad's home.
Bed.
Bed. Come on.
Willow, you too.
Bed. Oh, you brat children. Come on. Okay. We're back. If you're going to train, you have to be serious, otherwise real tragedies can happen. Is that what happened last year? Is what happened last year still bothering you? That murder in her village, it happened because the power of channeling was misused. When a medium uses the Kurain technique, she temporarily loses her will.
Willow, out of there.
Jake. Come here, Willow. Jake, bed. Come here. Bed. Good boy. Willow, bed. Sit. Stay. Dum-dums. We can only hope.
No.
Thank you. So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. What's worse, in those cases, a spirit medium has no memory of what happened. That murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you? I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all. Sounds like the Master of Kurain is going to be a heavy responsibility. Alright, let's go to the detention center. Detention center visitors room. Mr. Wright. Mr. Delight. Did they finish their interrogation? Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore. Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you? Well, you see, the same night the Sacred Urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor Department Store, blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB Security to hand over some money. And then that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Hey! This is an article about my debut heist. Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail.
Oh!
That's him.
That's him.
But Masque, he must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared. That's right. I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my Masque costume in a nearby plastic bucket. Then I quickly changed in my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, eh? Wow, awesome. Hey, hold the phone. Regarding this photo, is that you, Mr. Delight? That's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself. Nice and easy to figure out. Even Pearls could see through that in a heartbeat. As you might expect, Detective Atme found the disguise. He truly deserves the title of an ace detective. Detective Atme found the Masque disguise? That's interesting. Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him. So that's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this. Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume. That must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters. Blackmail letters? You got them starting when? Tell me more, now. Hey, calm down. Don't get so worked up. Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are a Masque? Is that what I've been saying since yesterday? That was a quick response. Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating. But listen, Mr. Delight. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief. Are they both Masque? Like he started and then he continued?
I don't know.
This is how I enter my house.
Hey, bro.
Hi, bro.
What's up, fuckers? Why do you have my phone? Fuck you, that's why!
At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. Yes, it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn. Of course not. After all, you were at KB Security at the time. So then the person dressed up as Masque in this photo, it's gotta be Detective Atme. So that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor.
That nose?
What?
How do you hide that nose?
I don't know. So that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor, you went to KB Security, right? Yes, I went to KB Security at the time the blackmail note said I should. Alright, what happened next? Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the keycard to unlock the door. Probably when he dropped his wallet. When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there. Someone? Suddenly they bashed me over the head. Bam! Was it Kane Bullard that hit you? I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. Looked like...
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No, it's not come at me, it's Luke at me.
Yeah, Luke at me.
It's Luke at me.
Couldn't remember.
Person ran away while I was stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. Dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body. So that's why you put it in the safe? Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it. Okay, and what did you do after that? Well, I got out of there, for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building. So I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Nick, all of a sudden Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me. Please don't say that. Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago you were forced to quit KB Security? Ah, how did you... I'm begging you, please don't tell Desi, please. Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet. Phew, thank goodness, or no, But I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her anyway? Desi would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief, she'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over. Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place? Because Desi spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway. So you became Masque for Desiree, huh? This blackmailer, is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. That first letter, it said, I know you did it. So someone found out about your true identity, just like that? It's not easy being a master thief, you know. I've got proof that it was you, so give up, it went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all that trouble to steal. Is that right? Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up? Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000. Don't say anything about me being worried, you know. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. Plans? What the hell's going on here?
Someone was making him be Masque.
Yeah.
So Atme was probably the one sending the letters.
Probably. Or...
But he said he created his own rival. So he found out who it was.
Right, so that he could continue trying to catch him. Got it. Okay, that's making more sense. Main exhibition hall, then basement warehouse. The way to get to these places is all weird. Pathetic looking wooden box. Ah! That's a box that had the secret urn in it. Don't touch it. There may be clues of the thief's identity on it. Grr, I worked so hard to make that box. Huh? You made that pork shoes for a box, Maya? What's that supposed to mean? I was so proud of it. Poor Maya. Maybe it's better. Maybe it'd have been better if Master Masque had taken the box too. Looks to me like it's been dry for several days. Something suspicious about this paint mark. Bottom left part of it is shaped oddly and it's shockingly pink. Let's see how the color of the paint is in any way important. Why isn't that in the court record now? Not here. Weird. Huh. That's gonna be hard.
What?
Because that's not in the court record at all, is it? The urn box or paint marks?
Did we miss something?
I don't know. Oh wait, hold on. I think I missed something. Yeah, heist plans, here we are. These plans you're talking about. They were instructions on how to steal a crown or a painting or some other rare treasure. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods. So you mean that the one who planned the heist wasn't you? No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from a very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. Sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him. So Ron Delight was Master Masque after all? But someone else is behind the theft. Someone who planned them all out in detail. All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Then I just waited for the cash to come in the mail. Try not to look so gleeful about it. So you went after the sacred urn because of those plans too? Well, see, truth is, I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions to steal what I was told to steal. Mr. Delight, is everything you just told me the truth? Yes, but please don't tell Desi, okay? Now, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Yes? Please don't hurt me. Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him? Yes, of course. I could never. I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they discovered what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday. Why? Judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi, right? Guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight. Guess I have no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word. Mystic Maya! Hey! Pearly! I'm back! Hey, Pearls, so what have you been up to this whole time? Sacred urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Karain Village to have it examined. And what'd you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn. Phew! What a relief. I was really worried. But there's one small problem. Problem? These cute little pink splotches? It said that it's paint, and that they were put on the urn recently. Are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? We've got to find out how they got there. That's a big deal. Yes, Mr. Nick. We got to find out how they got there. Okay. We'll find out how they got there. Please don't forget about me. Good urn. There we go. Now we can go there. That's jumping the gun, I guess. Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you. Hello there. I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to? Well, actually, I was having this urn examined. Oh, I see. Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, figure out the mystery of what actually happened here. Nick, let's look around one more time. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me. That's the box the sacred urn was in. Looks like there's some pink paint on it, too. It's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn. I think I know how the paint got on it now. Alright, let's investigate again, Nick. This meat leg's been dry for several days. Something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom left part of it is shaped oddly and shockingly pink. Mr. Nick, could it be that this odd shape is... Yeah, pretty sure this is it. Ah, that's the box the sacred urn was in. If you look here, there's this little bit of paint on the box as well. Wow, you're right. Look, it matches. What is it, Mr. Nick? This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. Come on, you. I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Oh, sorry. Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the sacred urn? Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasures exhibit. The urn was submitted before the court today. It's obviously not the same urn as before. Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake. A fake? You're the one who said it wasn't the same, so that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence that the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine? Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Karain Village and had it examined. Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how... What she discovered was that the urn had been broken. Again. Did you say again? Yes, it was broken once a year ago. And now it looks like the same thing has happened. Quite recently, too. Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. What do you think it was broken recently? How do you know? This poster, it was made recently, right? Poster? Ah, a poster for the exhibit. At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said I am on it. But now, for some reason, it says Amy. The urn was fixed, the letters were transposed. Ah! I am. What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken. It was a mistake. Now tell the truth. Oh, well, wait. Or, even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it. Huh? Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened. Looks like she's not going to give up that last cyclock so easy. Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor?
Paint all over it.
Well, Miss Andrews, what is this supposed to mean? There's pink paint all over this urn. There's pink paint all over the floor and walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. Can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews. But... Uh-oh, she's trying to make her escape. But you can get pink paint anywhere. Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure. Well, there is in my room. Liar. Anyway, paint on the urn and the paint on the floor. There's no proof it's the same paint. Come on, this is getting ridiculous. Proof linking the paint on the urn. This box. The urn was stored in this, right? Yes, that's right. Well, there's pink paint on this box as well. Ah, I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you? Yes, more or less. Paint on the floor is an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it? Yes. If you put this box in the impression of the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. That, the urn was broken. Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright. So sorry. I was the one who broke the urn. Why does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher? I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did. Well, it's not so hard to understand, is it, Pearly? No, not at all. I know just how she feels. It happened about 2 weeks ago, just after the poster photo was taken on the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box when I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance. The box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box, and that's when it happened. The broken piece of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock, and I let out a huge scream. I can totally see how that could have happened. Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands. I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Kurain Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big. That's when the IM got changed to Amy. I didn't know how it was originally written, but any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Amy. Any sane person? Really? Oh, Pearls. She said she wasn't very good at spelling. Anyway, I put the urn in the storeroom and no one had seen it since then. But there's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it. The Amy Faye statue, aha! First time that we came down here, it was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen. But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the walls or floor of the warehouse when we were here. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. And I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I see. Now it makes perfect sense. There's still one thing I find strange. What is it, Pearl? Day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At that time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible. She's right about that. Oh, Miss Andrews? Huh? What? I don't know anything about that. Placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again? Well, then who was it? Who would have done it and why? Oh, so he could get out of the view of the camera? He was seen coming in, but he didn't want to be seen leaving. Definitely closer to the door. The next day it was moved, but why? Looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case. Why? Why do you think so, Nick? Because that night, the real thief Ron DeLight was at KB Security. So then why did another Masque show up here? A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact. One undeniable fact? Murder trial is starting tomorrow, but looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. Yes, let's save our progress. Okay. Defendant lobby number 4. Hey, Nick. What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmey's trial here today. Detective Atmey? They say they're going to try him as Masque. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see Masque trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. No, you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me! Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. No one likes me. No one would even notice me even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. Thief can't really be poor. Let's see. According to Mr. Delight. What? Stretching?
What time it is?
Yeah. No, when I'm home by myself, at 4 o'clock, all the way up until any time, they're like...
We're getting the look.
Yep. Now, let's see, according to Mr. Delight. Bed! Not that one! I'm so used to this one, Dad. It's mine. Tell that to Jake. He can have your bed. From the second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heist. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick? Murderer? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid it's not an option. Courtroom number 6. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the week. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. Ugh, he's got the judge in the palm of his hand, yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war, that's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Ha! Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes, well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case.
Where'd he go? Oh, he's sitting behind us.
Judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. Victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. Body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot, please call your first witness. Never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. The first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself.
He's like, guys.
The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... No, you're good. You allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. You have no objections, Your Honor, and the defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Ha! You've got guts, Trite. Alright then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand.
This guy bugs me.
Punch him in the Adam's apple.
I don't know who's first
You
name
did
or
it.
Francesca.
I don't know. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No. That's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Are you serious? I give up.
Jake, that bed is too small for you.
Yeah, well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with the face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ah, very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security?
If it's I sits, I guess.
Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened.
Still gonna get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he didn't kill him, he stuffed his body in the safe.
Yeah. That evening around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. Blackmail letter I got had ordered me to go there. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. Punch him in the Adam's apple. Ha! It's bitter today, too, just like my destiny. You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere else. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. Ah, why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? Perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! Wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh? Is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. Important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Ha! Muddy Mud Skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do.
Poor Phoenix.
Clinking, come on. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately. Wow! Wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. It's a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. Mr. Delight, what you said just now didn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. Certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. Wow, but listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Grr, go Dot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh, No, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry! Willow. I gotta fix this, sorry. Willow. Bed. Come here. Willow. Bed. This is your bed. You lay down. Okay? Okay, bed. There. Fixed. Jake! Bed! Get in your bed. Go to your bed. Come here. Jake. Bed. Stay. Doofus. That's why she keeps taking your stuff.
Yep.
Well, it seems. Yeah. He doesn't have one. He gets too hot. We've learned of a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick?
They're ready to eat dinner. That's why they're being antsy.
I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife and he killed to protect his secret. Family man who cared just a little too much. Motive is clear. Let's move on. Ugh. What happened at the crime scene at 1 a.m. in the morning? Mr. Delight, come now. Tell us. We're all ears. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there dead. I see, suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Masque struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Ha! No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. Find out what you say is, if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trike? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Wearing what? That? Could you please clarify what you were referring to? Why, my Masque costume, of course. Wait just a moment. Masque? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Masque. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. Seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know how sometimes you just let me run. Ha! My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. Why are you dressed up as Masque? Why, because I'm Masque, of course. What are you talking about? Masque's trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Masque issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. What was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hit the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? Answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Delight hit the body because he's the murderer? Ha! So you're not as stupid as you look. This metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well, yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here?
Ooh.
Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony.
Judgy getting
Yes, sir.
upset.
Uh-oh, looks like a storm front is moving in over the fair weather judge. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? What might this be? Record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security? If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? Mr. Ron Delight was truly the murderer. He would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Ha! Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building.
He worked there as a
He
security.
installed them himself. Up until a year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. But, as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Delight could have known. Ha! Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight, he said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted. That's what Mr. Delight didn't know. That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard. And who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? You need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? I can prove it, alright. Defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves it wasn't the...
Is there no fingerprints?
Yeah, there's no fingerprints. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of... Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it, except for Maya's. Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself. Naturally, he would have left his fingerprints behind. Booey! Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button, I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Masque to Masque. Masque to Masque always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Order, order, order. Ha! Would seem I've been forced to eat crow. Or what blend number of crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Ha! Looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. Real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? Killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond, huh? Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh ho. You got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? Gotta call a security guard to frame him.
Yep.
Killer knew if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Maybe because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. Ah, what a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. That buzzer sounded there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was a murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder. Phew! Ooh, yo! Order, order, order! Ha! Would seem I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Masque to Masque, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. Killer knew Mr. Delight's identity. They also knew they had been called to KB security that night. The killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. No, usually you're not allowed any food or drink in court here. I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time in court. Hear your accusation. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight? Look at me. Detective Luke Atme. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective Luke Atme? You mean Masque to Masque, dude? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Masque to Masque at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Order, order. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder's a more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment.
Yeah, I've been called. I've never been picked. I've been called twice. The one time I actually had to go to the courthouse and sit there for the day, but I didn't get picked. I never got called into a room for jury selection because all the cases pleaded out, and then the next time I ended up not having to go.
After I registered to vote in Indiana, I got notified that had the possibility of being called to in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
and I never heard anything about it. And then when I moved here, as soon as I moved here, all of a sudden they sent me a letter saying that, hey, we might have to call you again. Could you please? And I gave them all the information saying it would cost them so much money to have me drive all the way to Indianapolis.
Well, yeah.
They're like, okay, yeah. They never contacted me again. All right, please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. Go lay down. When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, famous detective was unmasked as well as masked to mask. Instead of being convicted for a murder, don't you even think about it, Willow.
Let's take a minute and go deal with them real quick.
Let me finish this, alright? Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was the true objective all along. To be found guilty. Mask to Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask to Mask was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. Yeah, this game world doesn't have juries at all. Guilty verdict as an alibi?
Hi, Shroom!
No, it's almost time.
Surprise.
For what? For Luke Atme's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atme's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Ha! A bet's only good when your life's the ante.
Gotcha.
Ah, fair enough. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So, please.
Well,
I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust.
yeah.
That voice sounded like... Mia. Your Honor, defense requests an immediate recess. Ha! So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atme to the stand. Yes, Your Honor.
You go, girl. I go, girl.
Oh, that's the other case. Hee. Well, Sir Detective Atme? Heh. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atme, you were the one who...
Oh, Lord.
That's enough! This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial.
Ah.
Yeah, seriously, Fari. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atme...
Objection.
Ha
Hold
ha! Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please!
Hold it.
Well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this hoser, then? Who's this hoser, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atme. Accusation? You accuse Mask to Mask? Man is not Mask to Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What?
What?
Yeah, the Canadian judge, though, in Japan. At least I believe this has to be Japan.
Oh,
I think. Yes, we will save the progress, but we're going to go feed the dogs real quick.
we'll be right back. Because they're getting very...
What's with this hoser, eh? BRB.
Be right back. I was like, yep, let's go.
Alright, food! We need
Come
food!
on.
Go!
Go, Jake.
I don't want to run my butt here. I want that food! I'm hungry!
should have got the bunny. You get the bunny? Get the bunny, get the bunny. Get the bunny. Oh, now we're gonna play.
Hear that? Like someone falling over? Oh, that was probably Jake as he came into the house. He slid across the floor.
Yeah, they have a
They have
toy
a
bunny. So we got him yesterday from Walmart.
Okay.
No, Willow. That's not your bed.
My sis? Could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive inside your heart. Nicky boy. Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But he wasn't at Lordly Taylor that night. Wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. Need to find some solid proof.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What are you doing? Oh, gotcha.
Glasses are bugging me. I need to clean them.
It's got to happen sooner rather than later. Right. So we gotta find proof that he's a murderer. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand. They're goofballs. They're currently playing in the other room now. Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? Never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. Couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Masque. Sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. Afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. Been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Masque. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles above my divine finger, for example.
No! I'm chewing on it. You probably already...
Bed. Willow. Bed. Get in your bed.
Bed.
Get in your bed! So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Masque. Of course. Just gotta go get it. Very well then, Luke Atme. Please let us begin with a simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks.
Oh, jeez.
Alright, Mr. Atme. Night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor.
Now get in your bed. Come on. Bed. Bed.
I was stealing the urn as Masque just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Masque was the same time as the murder. Seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Masque cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Fortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. Fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. He's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now, it's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, didn't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lord Lee Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lord Lee Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. Looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false? Has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. What are you doing in there?
She's like, what?
But there are two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. But I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point? That's right.
He's playing with the buddy.
That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lord Lee Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was a perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. See, you truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atmey was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the evidence was stolen from Lord Lee Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. No, that's true. It is kind of odd. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. There's no date. And remember, that paint's been there forever.
Well, the paint had been there long enough to dry.
Right, so he probably did it beforehand. Okay. Very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lord Lee Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. Basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about it? You bet there is. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. I took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. There's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. Funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood. Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint, and peach colored at that. From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. Problem with this photograph is not the paint. Problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something should have been there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright? What's supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Should be the statue.
Yep.
Supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
Come here.
I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then the statue should have been there.
Willow.
But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, the statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. Ha! In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. Real question is why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one who moved that golden statue on the night of the crime? One who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atme. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's pretty simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? Reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move the statue? Reason can be found here in this photograph.
Oh, you guys did rip it, didn't ya?
Yep, he tore up the ear. Stuff was coming out of it. That was quick. Look at me. You pretend to be Masque to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. Single fatal flaw? Interesting
Don't
theory.
chew
Please
on
enlighten us. So where in this picture does this lie exist? Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. What does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed besides the warehouse store? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi... Let him tug. Let him tug. It's the first.
Oh boy, Jake.
No! Stop tearing it apart. So in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the... Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Ah, so on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down in place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way that it had been in this photo. Gah! Order, order. Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
Leave it. Leave it.
What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. True that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Yeah, they killed it. They killed it. They killed the ear.
That's somewhat more fixable than some of the other stuff, though.
That's not fixable.
We could stuff this back in here. Sew it.
I'm not gonna sew all that. Are you kidding me? They'll just tear it right up again. You know what you do? Here, give it to me. You know what you do? Cut this part off.
Yeah, then we can just sew it.
Tuck all that stuff in and sew it.
Yeah.
Figure it out later. Another thing I gotta fix. Order, order, Mr. Godot. What is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial, which means I'm still good to the last drop. However, the defense has made a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. It's a very interesting idea, however, there's only one point that can't be denied, which is that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? There's no funny business in your actions as Mask to Mask. There should be no problem with you telling us your strategy, so let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Zvari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands on the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. Pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we'll find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Sorry. Fuck you. Very well then, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination.
That looked like I wouldn't do anything, Mom. As she was chewing on biting on the bed. Stop it!
Mr. Abney, if you really are Mask to Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Mask to Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Mask to Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? These stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trey. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, should I say, error-prone human. That's when the pink paint got on the urn. You can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Abney had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. Phew! Because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh?
Yeah.
Motive. So sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Mask to Mask, and now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? It's a good point. No way. Don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Atney was the one who killed Cain Bullard? Let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright. Motive. Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? Nick, he's getting a second wind. If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron DeLight, as you say, he must have a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron DeLight. Isn't that right, Mr. Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. I, Luke Atney, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Mask to Mask and simply mistook who he was. Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron DeLight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. DeLight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Mask to Mask. That is why Mr. DeLight saw it fit to kill Cain Bullard. What a truly tragedy.
Yeah.
So the victim, Cain Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. Handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. Make sure there's not two of them, right? Yep, just the one. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Abney? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Just the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Emanon that Masque stole at all.
Yeah,
the point is, Mr. Trite? So are you trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite? That's what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Trite?
And we bought her a new one.
Yeah. Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You've been personally involved in every single Masque case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen. And received a jewel. As your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. As the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Ah! Order in the court. Order, I say. Seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh, I don't like the way he said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Atme? Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him. And answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world, yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was your identity?
Maybe.
Yeah. Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity you wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick.
I forgot. I didn't realize Jake was sitting right here.
The identity that Luke Atme wanted so desperately to keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer. Luke Atme was a blackmailer. Objection. Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. Did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. In which case, that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Masque. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. That someone was none other than Luke Atme. Shh! Silence. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? You were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You say that I, Luke Abney, was blackmailing Ron Delight? In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Masque. Well, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Abney know that Ron Delight was masked to Masque? I think I see it. See what?
Willow.
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping is a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. Seems that Masque didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. That's when you figured it out, Mr. Abney. That's when you learned that he was masked to Masque. Wasn't he supposed to be masked to Masque? Not only that, looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud. Trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Why, how dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also masked to Masque. Why can't you understand that? Afraid you're neither a proud thief or an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you... How dare you even dare imply that when someone calls a little... I'm not bring out you're real fools. I say none of you can compare to my... Really just tell... I'll get away with all of it. It's enough to make one laugh.
Jesus.
Seemed we finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Abney. Bailiff, please prepare yourself for Mr. Abney.
Oh, Lord.
Hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
What?
You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Abney was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he was the one who killed Mr. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way. Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright? This is it. This is the final round. Got to prove that Abney was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? It's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Abney was at KB security, and the defense can't prove it. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Abney's testimony... Fortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten Luke Abney is here after we interrupted his own trial, and you have failed to prove that he committed the murder? I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict of mask to Masque. No. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as mask to Masque. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is a true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness. Can't believe it. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence, and by then it'll be too late. Huh? Well, why? Double jeopardy, one of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy? Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in the court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. It applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Abney will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Masque, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned. No way. The fact that you are unable to prove Mr. Abney's guilt of the crime of here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer. Wah! There's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Abney, will go free. Cross-examine every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Abney. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Yeah? That voice, no way! Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is the true power of the Kurain channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Go! Go!
He's in his bed, that's why.
Well, get out of here.
Come here, Willow! Come here! Alright, Jake,
Now,
go to your bed.
let's do this.
Willow?
But there's nothing more we can do, Mia.
Willow.
Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet.
Willow?
Testimony's not over yet. Get out of the bed! What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You've cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Got out of his bed again. Get in there.
Bed. You stay.
Willow, lay down.
I tried.
Hello? Her collar went off, that's why.
I know.
Bed. Willow. Bed. Bed. I'm here. That did not set off your collar. Oh my word, dog. Stay. 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 Willow. Stay. Stay.
Stay. Jake ups at us.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I'm the ace detective as well as Masque. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he's a true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. Oh, Sir Lawyer,
Mia.
looks like you've... Huh? What?
He knows Mia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at me. Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you...
He's not your lawyer.
Very well then, Mr. Luke Atme. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about To see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photo readied. Oh, they have their own beds in our bedroom.
Yep.
My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was
This
Ron
room
DeLite.
is downstairs, and our bedroom's upstairs. Yeah, they sleep upstairs in our room with us. Not in the bed. They have their own beds.
And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make the deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. DeLite was wearing his Masque outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Sorry. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. Witnesses' earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? Police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Sir Lawyer? Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
Just one chance? Ha! Seems that the party's about to begin.
To let me get a cat.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
God, can I do 17 cups of coffee?
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. Mr. Abney, about this last remark. Still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. Afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Abney, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Abney? Button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. DeLite was wearing his Masque outfit, is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron DeLite was dressed as Masque when he went to the scene of the crime?
During court today.
That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Hard. Now you understand, Detective Atmey? There's no way that you should have known about that. You're in the next courtroom being tried as Masque. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about this piece of information? Well, come on. This detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. That's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. DeLite was wearing his Masque outfit. There's one and only one way for Detective Atmey to have found that out. Only one? What? One way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. DeLite's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atney. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
No, he was in
Costume. Impossible. Detective Atney, you saw Masque that night. At the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself.
Oh, Lord.
Here I am, the tragic clown. Same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. An awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atney, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. Upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atney tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Masque in order to escape his true crime, and to that end he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. I know, you never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Masque. Huh? So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Oh, shit.
Oh.
Oh!
We just got him out of it.
Oh! Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Oh, he got screwed on 2 cases! Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. Defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Masque is really innocent? It seems so, for now. Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty. What a fucking mess.
That was a hot mess.
Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I am still Masque after all. Defendant lobby number 4. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Crane Channeling School? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Steve Fay, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Yeah. Ah, Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, blah, blah, blah. Come on, just be happy already. Maya. Been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Masque to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Masque. Did it all for one reason, for her. And your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Masque? Yes, but it's all over now. Broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? Kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together.
Urn.
Oh, the urn, yeah. Thank you. Sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have anything to have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Masque to Masque either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know?
They're both dogs.
Right, yeah, she's a beagle.
Yeah, she's a beagle, and then that's Willow, and then Jake is the other one. He's a mutt. And hello.
You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on. It's obvious, isn't it? How can I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he's going to ever get away.
Thank you.
But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Hmm? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. Marani went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. There's always justification. Thank you. Just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you.
Yeah, we've been enjoying them.
Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mr. Maya, congratulations!
Oh, Pearl.
Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife!
Oh, Lord.
In front of Mystic Maya! No, you've got the right name. I'll never forgive you, never, ever!
Oh, Pearl.
Oh. Just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness.
Yeah, I love Pearl. Pearl's so cute.
Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. There's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before.
I still think she looks like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I think she looks a lot like my niece.
Alright, we got through it.
Of course, they're both sleeping now.
Yeah, of course. Is she in a waitress uniform? Uh-oh.
Is that Maya?
Yeah, it's got the balls.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Save this.
Yes. 'Cause that was a whole...
whole
thing.
That was a...
That was a thing.
This game, yeah. So I really... on the Nintendo DS, I played through the first game, and then I hadn't played the other two, so... This is the first playthrough of... last one, too.
Yeah, Trials and Tribulations.
Yep. But yeah.
We've been doing it on Sundays, so we'll be here on Sundays doing this. And then Tuesdays...
Usually it's in the evening, though.
Yeah, usually it's in the evening. Then Tuesdays we've been doing,
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. We won't be doing it this Tuesday. I'll be back the following Tuesday, but...
Things are a bit messy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with that, we're gonna... Well, here, let me... I did save that, right?
Yes.
Yep, okay. Yeah, that would be... It's trying to get to the point where I can... Thank you!
Yes. You too. We're going to eat dinner and then we're going to see a movie.
Uh-oh, he drank a poisoned cup of coffee?
They put My Neighbor Totoro out in the theater here because it's his 35th anniversary. So we're going to go watch it in the big screen. Our theater here it shows like older movies. Like we saw Groundhog's Day.
Well, that's that. This is actually a Phantom event, so it's going across the country.
But they also show older. Like we saw.
Yep.
Groundhog's Day and then Breakfast Club, right? Was the other one we went and watched?
Yeah.
Which I had never seen Breakfast Club or Groundhog's Day before we went and actually saw him. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna save. No, actually, all I was trying to do was escape and go to the title screen. There we go. I was just waiting for the option.
Yes.
I don't want to skip any of that, so.
No.
Alright. But yeah. Sweet. So you all have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, have a good evening, guys.
And we'll catch you all on the next time.
Alrighty.
Bye.